Good evening and welcome to a special edition of Ideas at Work and Beyond. You know, they tell me I shouldn't bring up the big elephant in the room. I shouldn't talk about the elections. And they tell me I shouldn't talk about the elections because by the time you're going to see this, it'll all be decided. It's either going to be President McCain and Vice President Sarah Palin, or it's going to be President Barack Obama and Vice President Joe Biden. And it'll all be decided. But you know, St. Augustine talked about the kingdom of God and the kingdom of man. That election is talking about the kingdom of man, politics, and it's all going to be sorted out. Tonight we're going to be talking about the Pathways Academy, a vision of Bill Beatty, who's joining us here in studio, as well as Terrell Little. It's a vision that was born out of the need for young men to find a mentor in their life, someone that they can turn to in a time of need, someone they can turn to for direction and guidance, someone that can also share what it means to be a Christian man in today's society. This was this man's vision, and out of that grew 10 years of mentoring, countless young men reached, and actually bricks and mortar that would put together right over on Rose Street in Danbury, which is Pathways Academy, which you'll see some footage of as well. But without any further ado, I'd like to welcome to our studio Bill Beatty,
thank you very
the
much.
man, the legend, and Terrell Little, also the man and soon-to-be legend. Terrell, you can let go of my hand now, please. Right. Oh, I'm sorry, that was a bad joke. Bill, thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure.
You literally almost just stepped off a plane from Sudan, Sudan, Africa. Is that right?
Southern Sudan. My daughter is a missionary over there, and we just got off the plane on Friday.
I mean, all I know of the Sudan is what I see on TV. Is it really as horrific as they're talking about? Drought, famine, unrest?
Flooding right now is the major problem.
Oh my.
And villages have been just destroyed, and there's all kinds of homelessness and starvation taking place, and it really is a very, very difficult situation.
Well, we got to do a show just on the Sudan and what you're doing over there, because I know your daughter's there. But tonight, can you just share with our audience the greater vision for what birthed Pathways Academy? What did it start with, the mentoring program?
Sure. Well, about 12 years ago, our church, Walnut Hill Community Church and New Hope Baptist Church, put together a joint venture concerned about young men in the community, and young men that are described as at risk for various reasons, with the hope that through matching them up with adult males in our respective churches, that we could change their lives, have an impact on how they lived, how they were educated, what they aspired to do in their future, and generally have a very positive impact on their lives. And we've been doing that now. This is our 12th year.
And how many young men have gone through your program in that entire 12 years?
We've had about 70 young men go through the program, some of whom are still in the program.
Right.
And we've retained about 75% of them. Wow. Who have either still in the program or who have graduated from high school.
Now, just a shameless plug, you're having your annual breakfast this coming Saturday. Which is going to be November.
It'll be November 8th at the Stony Hill Inn.
Okay.
At 7:45. It's a free breakfast, and the purpose is to recruit more mentors for the program.
Okay. Now, I've met some of these mentors. I've had the privilege of going to some of those breakfasts, and I sometimes wonder who gets more out of it: the men, in the sense middle-aged men, or some of the younger men that they're mentoring, because they seem to form such a bond and a friendship, and I think both parties get a lot out of it.
It's a fun time, and the men come from all different walks of life, of different colors, different backgrounds, and it just we've been doing it now for 12 years, and people look forward to it, and it's a lot of fun, but it's the major source for new mentors, so it's a very important
the breakfast. All right, so come on down to Stony Hill, right on Stony Hill Road in Bethel, this Saturday, 7:45. No one's going to get turned away.
No one will be turned away.
And they put out a pretty good breakfast.
Right, yeah.
All right, Terrell Little, I find you to be a fascinating young man. Now, I understand that you have two older brothers that were also in this mentoring program.
Yep.
All right, so growing up, you got to see your brothers go off with these guys and do interesting stuff. Is it something that you had an interest in being a part of once you got old enough?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. And what are, give me some like anecdotal stories of what it's meant to have a mentor. I understand you had one mentor, and now Mr. Beatty has been your mentor for 2 or 3 years now. What has it meant for you?
Yes. I don't know how to answer that question.
Well, I mean, for example, we talked a little earlier, I've been involved with Young Life, which I understand is involved in Danbury as well. And I had a chance to kind of be in a mentoring type relationship. And there was a young man who needed to get his driver's license, but he didn't have anyone to take him down to get his driver's license. I had the, privilege of going to do that. To get their first job, I actually went, helped them fill out the application, was a referral, a reference for him for his first job. Some of those things, driver's license, your first job, what it means to get your homework done. Have you benefited at all through the mentoring program for that?
Yeah.
Pretty much?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Now, you go to Danbury High School.
Yes.
Okay. Now, if there's young ladies that are watching this show tonight, could you give out your phone number if they wanted to?
297.
Go ahead. Okay, you'll have to come by Pathways Academy if you'd like to meet this young man, but we could work something out. And at Danbury High School, you're involved in what?
In the film production program at DHS, yeah.
Okay. So are you interested in being in movies or actually producing movies?
Both, yeah.
Okay.
Terrell's very modest. He's an excellent dancer and has performed at the school in dance.
Okay. Now, are you familiar with, I think the ministry is called Bridge? Is that actually right over in this? Have you been involved with that at all in some of their dance programs and stuff?
Well,
they were on the show once, so that was it. Okay. Pathways. I mean, you seem like a reasonably successful man. What is prompting you to get involved with this? And there's another thing called the Jericho Project. It seems like it's a big umbrella. Just give us the outline of that and what motivated you to get involved with that.
Well, basically, what really led me to Pathways Danbury was my own background as a kid in Philadelphia, growing up with a single parent.
Now, they have a baseball team in Philadelphia.
They have the World Championship baseball team, as a matter of fact.
Philadelphia.
Glad you asked that.
Well, I got to throw that in.
Appreciate that very much.
Okay.
But anyway, I grew up in Philadelphia, had a single parent, and I guess if I might have been described as an at-risk kid growing up in Center City, Philadelphia, North Philadelphia, and always wanted an opportunity to give back to the community that I knew as a kid. And so the mentoring program was the first opportunity that I saw that I could really do something that I had a great passion for.
Okay.
And as we pursued mentoring, we just felt that there was another step that we could take that would help improve the educational process, particularly for kids who were at risk. And I guess the driving force has been the dropout rate of kids in the at-risk community, which is roughly 50%.
50% from what age? Like if we talk about grades, are we talking?
For someone entering 9th grade,
okay,
50% of the kids who enter 9th grade drop out of school.
Don't make it to the high school.
Don't make it through the high school.
Through high school, okay.
And that's a tremendous waste of human capital, as well as just a waste of life and an economic cost.
Now, this might be unfair to ask, because I don't know if you keep these statistics, but a young man that's involved in the mentoring program, do you know how many of those mentorees actually make it through graduation? Roughly
75% of the kids who have entered the program are in the program today or have graduated. And of the kids who have graduated, about 90% of them have gone on to college. So I think we...
Wow. So it goes from a 50% dropout rate to a 90% on to higher education rate. Yeah. That's impressive.
So we think we're having a very positive impact.
Okay. How can people get involved? And during the... because we've shot some footage of the school, Pathways Academy, so there's going to be a phone number on there. Is that the best way for people if they want to get involved?
Exactly. And there are a number of opportunities. We have a great need for volunteers at the Academy. Okay. People are willing to come in and help in the reading program. folks who are able to come in at 3 o'clock and help in the tutoring program.
So an after-school thing, okay.
All kinds of activities where volunteers are most important to us.
Okay, and what about if there's is it primarily men, or can women be mentors as well, or is it?
In terms of the mentoring program,
Yeah.
it's exclusively for men,
Okay.
since we're mentoring boys or young men.
Okay, so if someone's watching tonight and they had some interest in becoming a mentor, probably the best thing to do would be to come to the breakfast on
Right,
Saturday.
exactly.
But they can also call the number on the screen
Sure.
and get in touch and
Oh,
find
yeah,
out
very
more.
much so. But we do have a number of women who are in the reading program at the Academy.
Yep, we'll meet some on the
And
film.
you'll see them on the film. So we're not ruling out that as an opportunity for women to volunteer and participate. We'd love to have them come in and help us out.
Okay, now I'm sitting at home. I have a young man in the 6th to 8th grade age group, and he's not necessarily doing as well as we hoped at school. And you're watching this show and you're thinking, this would be perfect for my son. Are you taking applications for students at the school? How much does it cost? Can people donate?
Sure.
What does that look like?
Well, we accept applications generally in the spring, beginning in let's say April 1 is when we would be entertaining applications for next year's program.
Okay.
Everybody who comes in starts in the 6th grade, and we process the applications. We have interviews of the individual students, and we make selections based on how we can, our estimate of how much impact we can have in the lives of those kids in the school environment that we have there.
Now, when we spoke with the principal, Cedric Rice, he was saying that the average cost is about $2,000 per student, and that there's a sliding scale, so money would never be an object if someone wanted to.
We have scholarship support for anybody who is accepted into the program. We can tailor something to meet their needs. Sure.
Okay. Well, we've shot some video at the Pathways Academy on 13 Rose Street in Danbury. The former, it was a furniture store?
It was a Danbury Furniture?
Danbury Furniture Store, so that you might know where that is. But we're going to go to the video. You'll get to meet the assistant principal, the principal, one of the reading teachers, who's actually a special important person to this show because it's Ivan Alsamy's wife, so that's encouraging. And also you get to see the incredible facilities they have at Pathways Academy. But listen, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you very much. My
I
pleasure.
appreciate it. Terrell, you want to give that number out one more time?
297-223.
Okay, you got it. We may have to run that too, but if you want to get to know Terrell better, just call that number, and he's taking calls right now. So we're going to go to the videotape. Thanks again for watching, and I hope you find it interesting, and I hope if there's any way you can get involved, you will. So, as the sportscaster says, let's go to the videotape. Welcome to Pathway Academy. We're here at Pathway Academy in Danbury, Connecticut, and we have a meeting with Cedric Rice, the principal of this new academy. It's part of the Jericho Project that coordinates churches, local churches, and other ministries. It's also funded in large part by donations and private groups. Bill Patey is sort of the patron saint of the Jericho Project. We hope to talk to him as well. So join us, and let's see what they're doing here at the Pathway Academy. The library of this incredible facility at Pathway Academy. This place, it smells of fresh paint. All the furniture is perfect. The carpeting is, my wife would love to have this quality of carpeting. Everything at this school is impressive from the moment you walk in, but just not the physical surroundings, but it's the people they have here that are impressive as well. And we're going to be speaking with a number of them, starting at the top. with probably the most important person, and this is Mr. Horace Huff. Thank you very much for joining us.
Oh, thank you.
Appreciate it.
I wouldn't say most important at all.
Really?
You have to tell the principal that. I don't think I want to deal with that.
Okay, yeah, Cedric Rice, which we're going to meet a little bit later in the program, was actually a starting pulling guard for Kansas State University. Did you know about that?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, and once you meet him, you can see that he was a Division I college football player.
Yeah.
So he's number one, and you're just trying to help.
Yeah, I'm just helping him out.
Okay. Well, tell us a little bit about you. You're the assistant principal here, and just tell us a little bit about what you're doing, what the mission of the school is, and maybe how people could help.
Pathways Academy, as far as I'm concerned, is a two-part job. First, I'm assistant principal, so whatever Sid says, I follow right behind him in line.
That's a good approach.
You could kind of say I'm a little Sid. I'm a little principal, so to say.
Okay.
Whatever he needs to do, then I make sure I follow up, and I make sure I reinforce all of that.
Right.
I wouldn't say I'm the disciplinarian, but I would say I reinforce positive behavior. That's a better way of putting it.
Very good.
The other half of my job is the after-school program.
Right.
And the same kids that are in Pathways Academy are also in the after-school program. So
Okay, so if a child, and you have junior age,
we're between 10 and 12 years old.
between 10 and 12.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so they can come here at school at what time in the morning and stay in controlled, protective, positive environment until what time? Walk us through an average day.
Average day, they will be picked up at home somewhere between probably 7 and 7:45. Their day starts here at 8 o'clock. That's the first class. Prior to that, they get breakfast, so they're already fed.
They get breakfast here on site?
Yes, they get breakfast on site. We pick them up, provide them breakfast. Class starts at 8 o'clock. We deal with everything from the pledge to the flags, our slight devotional period. Then they start school, and they will be here till about 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
Wow.
So we have our eyes on them. They're in our custody, so to say,
That is incredible.
till 5 o'clock.
And when you look at the community that you're servicing, it does seem as if there's a lack of positive male role models for some of these kids. And I think in some ways you see it in the crime rate, in some of, I might be playing sort of like armchair a cultural analyst or something, but you see it in some of the gangster, violent hip-hop music and things like that, some of which I like, as a matter of fact. But you see it, there's a yearning to try to find a positive role model of what it means to be a man today. Is that part of what you're trying to do?
It is, and so much of that has to do even with how we do discipline. It's not about you have detention and we're immediately going to call the parents, but we put a lot back on the kids. What are you going to do to fix the situation? We try to let them see that for the males who are on staff, that we are men, that we can hold to our word, that we do have faith, that we are believers, that we are Christians, and that we will support them, and that we won't give up on them. One thing that they know is we're going to be here tomorrow, and you got to see our face again, and we're going to stay on you no matter what the problem is. We're still here. And although they can get annoyed, as most students do, at the same time we are able to see development. Even in the month that we've been going for this year, we see that they've changed. We see the development and the positive influence that we've been able to have in their lives.
That's pretty neat. And again, I don't know these rap songs that well, but Shaquille O'Neal had a song that said biological didn't bother, and he's talking about his biological parents.
Right.
Now I'm thinking again, and you don't want to, paint people with a broad stroke or something, but I would imagine many of the kids that come here come from broken homes,
right?
And the parents aren't both in the home, so you're providing this sense of security and a controlled environment where they can flourish.
Right. I mean, our job is slightly difficult in that we're trying to do so many things at once. We are trying to be an academic institution. We are trying to be an after-school program. But we do understand that we also play big brother and that we also play parent in certain occasions.
Right.
The fact of the matter is our kids range from having parents at home to some who are very capable, all the way to the other end of it where you wonder sometimes about the family and the home life.
Right.
And for those specific kids, we try to understand what they're going through and to deal with them accordingly. But we do understand the minute we walk in these doors that we are more than just the teacher or the principal. We also have things such as advocacy, which is each one of us on staff have a student that we work with individually to make sure that we meet with them at least once a week for some time, talk to them, see how everything's going. And we are even required to go by and visit the homes at least once a semester.
Pathway Academy, you do make house calls.
Yeah, we make house calls to pick them up, drop them off, and everything else. So we are very involved, or we try to at least be very involved with their home life, so we can all work in one accord.
Wow. Well, you can give us a little bit of the history, because I know that before there was Pathway Academy, which is a brand new undertaking, there was also this Pathway Mentoring Program, and in many ways this academy is an outgrowth of that. What was that all about?
Pathways, in and of itself, is, as you just stated, a mentoring program. I'm not exactly sure how long ago it started. However, what we do, because I'm a mentor in the program also, is we try to put one young man with a mentor. Pretty much just to meet with them at least for 2 hours a week, hang out with them, talk to them, go get something to eat, and make sure that we try to remain to be a positive influence in their life. Every child in Pathways has a mentor or is about to get a mentor, because we always are bringing in new kids. This institution was formed out of the vision of so many people that were involved with Pathways to start with, because we were looking for a place that these kids could come and be able to do their after-school work, their tutoring, and so on and so forth. As far as Pathways Academy specifically, one thing we realized in Pathways, the mentoring program, was something happened between the ages of 10 and 13 that either derailed the young man off of a positive path or got him onto a positive path.
Those are absolutely pivotal years, those
Right.
young adolescent years. You're going to make decisions that'll affect the rest of your life.
Exactly, exactly. And it was just so much that we had to think about, saying, okay, we blatantly see that between these ages, something's going to go right or something's going to go wrong. So if we could develop a place that we can at least have some influence into what goes on, then we at least, I can't say that we're ahead of the game, but we're at least in the game.
Well, what I appreciate, and I know Cedric Rice a little bit, we're going to be talking to in a minute, but really I've heard it said that kids don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Right. And what you're talking about with home visits and getting involved in these kids' lives, you know, it's much more than reading, writing, and arithmetic. Right. You're getting involved with the whole kid's life, and you're meeting them on their own turf, and you're earning the right to be heard. Right. I mean, it is really a holistic ministry. Couple other questions. Now, your background. Where are you from? Where'd you go to school? You're single, but you're seeing someone, because I don't want to get too much into that, but okay. But tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm born and raised Queens, New York.
Okay.
I attended local schools as far as high school and all of that. I went to and graduated from Hofstra University. Okay. Got my bachelor's from there. And I'm currently enrolled in Fordham Graduate School of Religion in the Bronx. Okay. So even though I'm in Connecticut, I'm obviously still leaning on the New York end of things. Okay. Trying to stay close to my roots. After I graduated from Hofstra, I went on to do youth ministry, still locally in Queens, and currently I'm still doing youth ministry in Bridgeport, Connecticut, at Messiah Baptist Church. So kids have become my life. Okay. So between Bridgeport doing youth ministry and Danbury doing the school and the after-school program, I just can't get away from them.
All right, well, let me close with that. Now, what the Bible talks about, building your life on the rock, and when the storms come, the house is going to stay. But if you build your life on the shifting sand, when the storms inevitably come, it's going to collapse. Right. Now, here at Pathway Academy, you make no bones about you're a Christian academy, you're about sharing the gospel. How does that affect education and the lives of these kids? Just say a word about that.
I think the first thing we can start with is that the entire building in itself is referred to as the Samaritan Center, as far as basing on the story of the Good Samaritan, the man walking down the road who saw someone in need and decided to stop by when no one else would, and to try to help them out. So the Academy, we try our hardest to make sure that we can do what we can for these kids, understanding all the time that we are Christian, a Christian-based academy, and that our faith, as far as the institution, lies through Christianity in Jesus. We do Bible studies for the kids in the after-school program on Thursdays for everybody from middle school all the way through high school. We also...
And the staff included?
Staff, it depends on time schedule.
Okay.
Depends on the time schedule. We also look for all of our volunteers who we need desperately. We're looking for one volunteer to each kid, to each young man, and we need more and more and more.
But on that note, you can get in touch with Pathway Academy, and hopefully we'll scroll this at the bottom, but 203-205-0954. That number again, 205-0954. Please call and talk with Horace and help to get involved. But I'm sorry, I interrupted.
No problem. But for every volunteer that we have and that we look to bring on board, once again, you heard the number. Please call us and contact us. But either way, with every volunteer, we look to have some understanding that we are a Christian organization, and that we do want them also to have a relationship with Christ through Christian experience, because we are always trying to instill that into these young men. So no matter where you look and where you turn, you realize that this is still a faith, a strong faith-based, strong Christian organization, and that's what drives us.
That's the impression. I encourage you to come down to Rose Street and see the Jericho Project and the Pathways Academy in particular. But you get a sense, even just walking into this place, that there is something more going on than just a school. It is a sense that kids are being looked after, but there's also almost, I don't want to sound mysterious here, but sort of a sense of love and almost a sense of the Spirit of God in this place. And that's what I came away with. Well, listen, I want to thank you very much for taking the time. And we're going to talk to some other folks here, and I appreciate it very much. Well, I am delighted to introduce the next guest on this show from Pathway Academy. Delighted because this is a very, very, very special young lady. This show, Ideas at Work and Beyond, was founded by Ivan Alsme, and this, ladies and gentlemen, is his lovely bride, Lakima Moore. Lakima, sorry, I'm not putting you on the spot, am I?
No,
Okay.
not at all, not at all.
But I just want to make that tie-in. Now, Ivan is at Howard University, and he's getting his PhD. He eventually blows up my cell phone, and we stay in touch. But you are working here at Pathway Academy.
Right. And it's been a pleasure working here. This environment and the way we approach learning with these kids is just phenomenal. It's unlike any place I've ever worked, and I'm really enjoying it. The kids are great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, you have 3 kids of your own. Now, are they going to start coming to this school too eventually?
Eventually, I would love my oldest to come. He's in 4th grade right now.
Okay.
So, by the time he reaches 6th grade, it would be ideal if he could come here.
All right, now tell us a little bit about, you are responsible for language arts and reading.
Right.
You have primary care of 6 kids, and tell us a little bit about how your approach is and how it can be with each of these kids for the field that you're teaching.
Well, first of all, I have made up a curriculum plan for every student, so I know their needs, I know what their capabilities are, and I'm really just trying to push the envelope with these kids. I'm trying to get them to think deeper, think more critically when they're reading, and we're doing a more hands-on, technology-driven approach to language arts and reading, which is a lot different from what some of them are used to, but it really just challenges them more, and it makes them take responsibility for their own learning. That's key. I mean, for any child that's going to survive academically, they've got to be able to take some responsibility for their own learning, be challenged, think critically, make choices that are going to be productive to their education. So that's really what we're doing here. It's really student-centered as opposed to school-centered or, structured. It's not structured around the actual academic what do I want to call it? It's not structured around curriculum.
Okay.
It's structured around the students.
Okay.
It's super student-centered. So that's what we're doing here. We're just trying to make a difference in each kid's lives and get them to take some ownership of their education.
Well, we were speaking a little bit with Horace before, and one thing he talked a lot about was the sort of holistic approach that you have with these kids. I mean, you have some of these young men from, 7:30 in the morning till 5:30 at night. It isn't just academics, but there's also a Christian aspect. Tell us a little bit about that.
Right. We try to incorporate Christianity in everything that we do. We're a Christian-based school. In the mornings when we come in, I also have homeroom. So we do have prayer in the morning. The boys lead the prayer.
Wow.
It's on a voluntary basis. So and they volunteer readily, and they pray not just for themselves or for all of them in the school, but they also pray for other people, those in need. There was a kid that got injured during football, one of their extracurricular football activities, and they prayed for his recovery constantly. So we're always, and we also have the inspirational quotes too of the week. We have something called Quote of the Week, and we look for inspirational quotes that are going to set them on the right path. The boys come up with those themselves. A lot of them are from the Bible.
Okay.
So we incorporate Christianity into just about everything that we do.
Now, there's a famous program that you have. It's called the Book Buddies. Now, tell us a little bit about the Book Buddies, and then also how people can get involved, because I know you're looking for volunteers, sort of a mentoring type program. But tell us a little bit about Book Buddies.
Right. Well, we have reading labs here every Monday and Thursday for an hour, and we're looking for book buddies, adults that can come in and either read to a child or have the child read to them and do some kind of activities to strengthen their reading skills. So we're looking for people. We've got about 3 that come in. They work specifically with one student, and that's kind of how we want to do it. We want them to build a relationship with one student and get through any reading challenges they may have, or just to have a companion there. A lot of times the kids feel good that people want to come in and spend some time with them and see what we're doing here. Yeah. So if anybody's available.
That number again, 203-205-0954. You can call and become.
Love to have you. We'd love to have you.
We talked about that a little bit before too, that Pathways really, the Pathway Academy has grown out of this mentoring program that has been going on for 10 years or so. Right. So again, you have that one-on-one approach, really walking side by side with these kids. It's not about coming in and saying, all right, these are vowels and this is a sentence structure, but it's really getting to know these kids and working with them individually.
Right. I mean, it is definitely a holistic approach to education. We get to know the kids personally. I'm glad that we just have a small class this year so we can really be intimate and get to know the child's strengths and weaknesses and just build from there. It's great. I love it.
Well, just another building block here at Pathway Academy. Lakima Moore, also the significant other to Ivan Alsamy. So, shameless plug. And sometime you should give her a call. She's in the book, and ask her how her and Ivan first met at Howard University. That's quite a story. But thanks a lot. Thanks for spending some time. Appreciate it very much. Well, here we are. We're seeing Mr. Cedric Rice in action here at the Academy. This is the guy.
All right.
You got this place whipped into shape?
It's as
all I see is well-behaved young men learning and expanding their mind.
I don't know about that.
What's the key to your success?
Key to success is just trying to do what the Lord tells me to do.
It's where preparation meets opportunity.
Well,
right there.
Well, it's all about the boys first off, and it's about the boys coming together with the understanding that we're all about trying to give them a brighter future.
Right.
So all we do is try to bring out what's already there inside of them.
Yeah.
Get them to understand things like following the rules and studying hard, getting their homework done after school. All those things are important.
Absolutely.
And all of our boys not only participate in our full school during the day, but they also participate in our after-school program.
I mean, right now it's 4:40 in the afternoon.
And you can see we got boys all over the
We got
building.
boys here. They're working. They're still here at Pathway Academy.
Right.
And it's a beautiful thing. But we're gonna
One of the things, as you can see, our boys our boys wear uniforms all day.
Right.
And you can see some of them.
This is sort of a before.
Some of them decide after school they want to get back into the clothes they would wear outside of school.
He's got to express himself after school.
But, as long as he keeps making A's, I really don't care what he does.
This young man's
He's a straight A student.
Wow.
I got all three of these guys have been on our science honor roll.
Is that
and
right?
So that's all that really matters. As long as they keep making good grades and having a good time, that's all that really matters. And we try to give them a good time. It's not always good times.
Right.
So they know it
isn't all fun and games.
I don't take a lot.
No.
I don't take a lot. I always remind them, I says, you don't have to agree with the rules, but you do have to follow them.
Wow. There you go. There you go. So is Principal Rice, does he keep things under control around here?
Yeah, he gave me $5.
He gave you $5. Is that a reward?
To say exactly that.
This whole year about like 40.
Is that right?
Yeah, but
So you get rewarded for good behavior,
Yeah.
but you got to be at school on time.
Yeah.
You got to listen and respect the teachers,
Yeah.
and you got to hand in your homework and,
Yeah.
and do it in an organized fashion.
Well, we also, the guys, they weren't kidding about the money. We actually have what's called a token economy here.
Yeah.
Oh, is that right?
So
Okay.
the boys have an opportunity to earn money
Right.
while they're here in school. And Elvis, how much did your paycheck? How much was your paycheck this week?
93.
$93?
That's not this week. That's how much he has in
Well,
his
that's how
account.
much he's accumulated.
He's
You
accumulated
can buy an
93.
iPod in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, he'll be ready to buy an iPod here before too long. And the kids can buy groceries.
Okay.
They can buy clothes. They
Okay.
can buy bicycle.
All right.
They can buy an iPod, basketball, watches. We have
Well, what you're
watches.
tying in is work and financial, rewards for that
Absolutely.
work.
Absolutely.
You tie all those two together.
They lose money too, by the way. It's not all one way. So when things don't work out quite the way we want them to, the boys do lose money. And they get a paycheck every week that says how much they made, how much they lost.
Right.
And they pay taxes just like everybody else in the United States.
Yeah, I bought some Skittles today.
And they pay Social Security. Just like everyone else. So it's fun. As you can see, we have 5 classrooms here. This year we're underutilized in that we only use one at a time because we only have one 6th grade class. Next year we'll add 2 more 6th grade classes, so we'll start to then get up towards our capacity. We can hold anywhere between 60 to 70 students.
So that's what you're going to be building towards.
We like to say immediately we're going to get up over 50. And then we'll see where we are and where we go. I mean, good donors and funding always make it easy to go to the next level. So, remember, we operate on the good graces of God and our donors. So, but we're
just along those lines. If someone wanted to underwrite a student for a year, let's say,
about $2,000.
About $2,000.
Yeah.
For $2,000, you could sponsor one of the young men that come here. And that would pay for the morning breakfast program, for school, tuition, uniforms, whatever.
Exactly.
About $2,000.
Exactly. That's not our full cost, but that's what we call our tuition cost. So when usually what we offer to most of our donor community is an opportunity to pay the tuition for the full tuition for a student. Now many of our boys are on scholarship and they may not pay that amount. But the full tuition is $2,000.
Okay, now along those lines, what if I'm a parent and I have a young man about this age, and what they're seeing on TV, they're saying, hey, this looks pretty good. This is just what Junior needs. How would they become a new student at Pathway
First and
Academy?
foremost, they have to be in the 6th grade. We don't take students, even though we're going to have a 7th and 8th grade, we don't take what we call mid-flight students. So all of our students start in the 6th grade, and our intent is to have the boys for 3 years. It takes about 3 years.
6th, 7th, 8th, preparing for high school.
And the idea is to get them to the point where number one, they understand the value of good, solid academics, that A's and B's are what's required in this world, not C's, D's, F's, but A's and B's. So we only want good students making honor roll. So we try to get all of our students to the point where they can get on the honor roll. Secondarily, we want them to understand the value of good behavior. That when people are talking, they should be listening, not talking while the teacher's talking. Thirdly, we want them to have good discipline. The idea that one does their homework immediately after school, get it done, then you can do all the other things that you want to do. Things like putting your shirt in your pants. We don't let our boys wear their shirt out of their pants during the day. They must wear a belt. They have sneakers and whatnot that they must wear, so they have to be in uniform all day long. And that's why when it gets to the end of the day, like I say, they want to hurry up and get to their other stuff. And then last but not least is try to give them a sense of confidence. We want our boys to be able to stand up for themselves, to be able to talk to other people, to feel confident that there's nothing in this world I can't do, and with God on my side, it makes me the strongest I could ever be. And we teach them all of that. The boys have a full course curriculum that they go through, all the English and the reading and the social studies and the science and the math, and then we also provide them an opportunity to understand their faith with a religion class. So I would still say their favorite course is lunch, and then followed closely by physical education.
Now, do you guys on Saturday afternoon, do you ever watch big-time college football on TV?
Yeah.
Okay. Who's your favorite team? You got a favorite team?
I'm gonna have to go with
Michigan?
Yeah.
Florida, Michigan? You like
Missouri.
Missouri, they're good. You got a favorite college team? But I don't know if you know, but your principal, back in the day, he played Division I college football for Kansas State University. Did you even know that?
Yeah.
He's one of these guys you'd see on TV. Now, when he played, they used to take their helmet off and they could fold it up and put it in their pocket.
It wasn't quite that long ago.
It was old school.
It wasn't quite that long ago.
He did that. All right, but let me now, while we have you here, the three of you, I can't hardly see you because you get all camoed up. That was a little joke there.
One of our other students, Marty, come here for a second, Bobby, is this young man here. He actually comes in. He's an 8th grader from one of the middle schools, Broadview. You go to, right?
Yeah.
Broadview.
How are you?
Good.
This is Bobby. Bobby's also, as you can see, he's tall, good athlete, good basketball player, good football player.
Okay.
But what we do in the afternoon,
Okay.
in the afternoon, we actually have kids that come over, boys that come over from other schools that join us.
Kind of mentoring, big brother?
And they have an opportunity to be tutored. He's Tyree's brother.
Okay.
And at the high school level, we have their other brother, Elijah. So it becomes a family thing, and we're able to get all the boys into the program.
Were you involved with the Pathway Mentoring Program?
Yeah.
So you had a mentor because we've been
Absolutely.
talking. Now, how long has the Pathway Mentoring Program been going on?
It's been going on for 12 years now.
12 years, okay.
Everything that we're doing here started with our Pathways program.
So this academy is really sort of a physical outgrowth of that mentoring program. It's like we got to do something.
We started doing some tutoring about 5-6 years ago, and that tutoring evolved into the school. We just thought if we had an opportunity to spend more time with the boys, we could have a greater impact on their lives. And hence the school, and here's where we are today. But now all the boys get an opportunity to take advantage of the building, our fitness center downstairs, our rec room downstairs, where the boys have an opportunity to play pool, ping pong, air hockey, foosball.
Let me ask you while we have you here, because you're sort of like, but how was your relationship with your mentor? What was that like?
It was good at first, but then towards the end, things got a little rocky. So I don't know what's gonna go on from here.
Okay, now your little brother is involved in Pathways Academy. Have you noticed any change in him?
Yeah.
Is he more serious about his school?
Yeah, way more serious.
Yeah? Really? Now, I'm not just putting words in your mouth. You can tell us straight.
Yeah.
All right. And now, you three, what's your name, man?
Tyree.
Tyree. What have you appreciated about Pathway Academy, and how, you're a 6th grader?
Yes.
So how does it compare to 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade in the public schools? What's different about here? What's better? What's different?
Well, in public school, it's really way different than Pathways for one, because we have 11 kids,
and it's a lot easier to know everybody and stuff.
Okay.
But back in the public school, it's really just a bunch of commotion, and it's a lot easier for me here.
Okay, so here it's a little bit more controlled environment, a little bit more special attention and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay, and what's your name again?
Cyrus.
Cyrus. Okay, well, how about you? What do you appreciate about Pathways? What's different than when you were in the public school?
Well, when I was in the public school, like, in this school, what I think one reason is better, like, they, like, trust you more, like, they let you do, like, better things than the elementary school would.
Okay.
I like that there's 11 kids too, and like, yeah, not a lot of things are going around, rumors and gossip and stuff.
Okay.
So I like that.
All right. And what's your name again?
Ryan.
Ryan. Okay, Ryan, what have you appreciated about Pathways? What do you like about it?
Well, I like that the schoolwork that Pathways gives us is a lot more challenging. I like challenges.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of challenges.
What about some of the facilities? Are the computers here? I mean, I see these computers where you have the screen up on an entire wall of the classroom, and this is impressive stuff.
Yeah, because at the beginning of the year we were assigned our own laptops.
You get your own laptop at this school?
Yeah, that's the special attention time.
Okay.
In our first period, we get to if we're good some days and we don't talk and we listen to the teacher, we're able to go on a computer, any website we want, and just have
on any games, whatever.
You know what I'd like to do, if it's okay with the principal, could you guys give us a quick little walking tour? Show us the fitness center, show us the laptop. Would that work all right?
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you very much.
Outstanding.
I appreciate it.
You guys have a good time.
All right, you're going to give us a little tour.
You guys do your job.
Let's start with the library, and we'll work to the laptops. And I want to see the fitness center. Thank you very much, Mr. Rice.
All right.
Okay.
What channel is this going to be on?
Channel 23.
Wait,
Comcast
it's on right now?
We're going to show it on Thursday night from 9 to 10. All right.
Show's called Ideas at Work.
This is our library.
Okay. Let the cameraman come in. All right, go ahead. Tell them what we got here.
Well, this is our library. We spend reading that period here.
Okay.
We only do that on Mondays and Thursdays, but when we're here, we really enjoy it. We have 2 computers that we use for research, but as we are in at school program right now, they're free time. Those 2 rooms back there are used for individual reading with somebody.
Okay.
The teacher will pick you out, but other than that, we have a lot of good books. Some books have been donated, and it's really nice here. And as you see up here, the frames up here, it shows the category, like what would the book be like. Like for instance, fiction would be a book that's fiction. Biography would be a book about that, and religion would be the Bible and stuff.
This is a book called The Purpose-Driven Life by a guy named Rick Warren. There have been like 25 million copies of this book. It's a very popular book. And it's basically about the purpose-driven life, having a life with in relationship with Jesus Christ. So that's a pretty neat book. All right, I want to see laptops in the fitness center.
Let's go to the laptops. I bring you down here.
All right, this is gonna be our first classroom that we're moving.
All right.
This is gonna be our first class of the day.
This is a coordinated monthly EAS test. This local station is testing the Connecticut Emergency Alert System. If this had been an actual emergency, official instructions would have followed the alert tone. This concludes this test. This concludes this test.
Young Life Club.
All right. Well, this is all kind of part of the umbrella of the Jericho Project.
Yes.
Bill Beatty is helping out with all that. All right. And you go to New Hope?
Yes, sir.
With Pastor Pitts?
Lovely brother.
Lovely brother. Okay. Well, thanks a lot. Thanks for taking time.
Thank you.
We're getting a walking tour by some of these fine young men.
And you have a couple of the best.
All right, all right. So show us the laptops, and I want to see the fitness center. All right.
Yeah, you want to get that fitness. Yeah, I want to get the fitness. All right, the laptop.
All right. These are the different classrooms, all right? Okay, we'll wait till TV Land joins us.
Oh, yeah.
All right, go ahead.
What's this place?
All right, what room are we in right here?
We're in reading. We're in our first classroom of the day. There's 2 classes in here.
Okay.
Language arts and reading. And basically, if we're good, we get to go on these laptops.
So each of you had your own laptops?
Yeah, just where I sit.
Wow.
Like
And what is this? They got them cabled to here so they don't walk away?
touch screen on them.
That's probably good.
And some of the MySpace some of the websites are blocked for us that are inappropriate to the school.
Because they want to
Good
be
idea.
educated.
Good idea. Okay. Excellent. Well, show us the fitness center now.
And the big screen is for like the teachers. That's used by the teachers. She wants to show us very something important, and it just won't go up. She'll show us that on the big projector.
So she can have something up there, and you can all be on your individual laptop sharing. We're dealing with almost a paperless classroom. This is very cutting
Pretty
edge.
much, yeah. We've been
Very
doing tests up
impressive.
here.
And you do your test right online.
Even still,
You guys are just an impressive group. This is an impressive school, and this is an impressive.
Very.
Yep. It's not only do we just use the computers, we still have like worksheets to do and everything.
I feel like I would like to just start all over and go to Pathways again. Are you a mother of a child here?
In the mentor program.
In the mentor program, you're one of the mentors, or one of the kids are in the mentor program? Well, what do you think of the Pathway Academy and what they're doing here? Very good. As a parent, what is your sort of reaction, change have you seen in your kids when they've come here or anything like that?
Oh, my one son just started Monday.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then my other son's been here for 3 years, and it just keeps him on track in school and
So
looking forward to everything.
he was mentored by the Pathway Mentoring Program, and then you have one son that's actually in the academy.
I have one son that just started the mentor program also.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, even though I don't have any children in the academy itself.
Oh, okay, just a mentoring program. Excellent. All right, we're going to see this fitness center. Where's the fitness center?
Downstairs.
All right, what's the holdup? Let's go.
You're in the newspaper.
All right, show us the fitness center.
Okay. So far, there's lots of equipment down there. Yeah.
Okay, you guys want to have a weightlifting contest? I bet I can.
TV got a show.
Okay.
Hi. Big ass.
I get to go down the steps.
Yeah, just watch your step.
Holy Toledo!
Right here we
Watch, this is the magic. Watch the magic.
walk straight down.
There's a couple guys going down there.
Really?
Now, what's that, like an after-school? Oh, this is locked up.
What's locked up?
Oh,
Someone's got to hop
Do
over.
you have the key?
Someone's gonna have to hop over. We got the key. Yeah, that was saved today.
No, this thing is locked. And then what's over here? This is like the cafeteria?
This is the Red Claw slash.
We'll get it. Okay.
take a tour.
I'm pretty much allowed to be in here.
Okay, listen, I want you on that machine, I want you on that machine. Yeah, come on, yeah, show us how this machine works, yeah. All right, go ahead, kid. Here we are at the Pathway Academy Fitness Center. Now show us how this works. Is this a bench press machine here?
Oh, well, you just grab it like that and you just bump it up.
All right, that's how you develop those guns. What do we got here?
This one is like you're just sitting down and lifting up one of the weights.
Okay, well, let's see how it goes. Wow. Okay, and then we got one more over here.
This one, your bones right here get stronger by lifting.
Wow.
Lifting.
Let's see one more. Very good.
Lifting.
So do you guys like coming down here and working out in the gym?
Yeah, I love it.
Impressive. Can you show us the cafeteria where you have activities and stuff?
Sure will.
All right, let's go.
Come on, Marty, I want to see you lift.
Okay, here we go. We're gonna do some curls here.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Got the curl machine.
50 pounds.
All right, I think we got this. We got this. What do you think? Does yeah, I need a little space. spot. Does Principal Rice come down here and
Sometimes.
do some curls?
We never seen him come down here, but
I'm sure he does, like at night, maybe after the school's closed. That's what.
And you could do this. Look, you could do this.
Oh, you got very good. Impressive. Impressive. All right, show us the cafeteria. Wow, so you got pool tables,
Air hockey table,
foosball, nice safe environment.
big phone table down there.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it very much. We're here in the cafeteria, or the kind of activity room for Pathways Academy. We met the principal, the assistant principal, we met a parent, and we met some of these fine young men. Pathway Academy, it's right here on Rose Lane in Danbury, Connecticut, and the number you can call is going to be scrolled along the bottom. So thanks for joining us. Join us next week on Ideas at Work and Beyond, where we'll be somewhere else. I'm not sure where, but we're not going to be in the studio, that's for sure. Thanks a lot, and tune in next week. Say goodbye.
Peace.
Well, my boat, she's waiting in the harbor. She's gonna carry me out to sea, past the shoreline and the lighthouse, past the clang of the buoy. There's got to be a better place somewhere where a man can more than just survive, 'cause here there ain't nothing happening at all. Say goodbye to the harbor lights. There's just no reason to stay anymore, nothing to lose and nothing to gain. So I'll just be sailing on through the fog and the wind and the rain. It used to be a good living, working as a lobster man. We pull up the traps at the end of the day, get paid and head on into town. But now the fish don't bite and there's no high tide, everything's gone down. I lost my girl when she ran off with a guy from the dark side of town. Yeah, there's just no reason to stay anymore, nothing to lose and nothing to gain. So I'll just be sailing on through the fog and the wind and the rain. Biting 100 miles or so down the coast. I'm on my way to the cold dark night like a wounded empty ghost. Yeah, there's just no reason to stay anymore, nothing to lose and nothing to gain. So I'll just be sailing on through the fog and the wind and the rain. Stay anymore, nothing to lose and nothing to